Every year during September, I see the same thing happen. Students come back from summer break, and within the first week, someone says it. I did nothing all summer. And they do not say it proudly. They say it with some form of regret. This feeling that 3 months just disappeared and they have nothing to show for it. I've been there, actually, most people have. And you finish your last exam, you're completely exhausted and burned out, and you tell yourself that you deserve a break. And you do. But then the break stretches from 1 week to 2 weeks to 6 weeks, and before you realize it, August is ending and you are lying in your bed at night thinking about all of the things that you were going to do but you never did. This video is about making sure that that does not happen again. I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan for having a summer that you actually feel good about when it's over. And I need to be clear about something up front. A productive summer does not mean grinding through textbooks for 3 months straight, because if you do that, you will burn yourself out before the semester even starts. A productive summer means using the break to build skills that you did not have before, focusing on relationships that matter, and developing a version of yourself that is genuinely better prepared for what is coming next. Before we start, I want to tell you something. I get messages every day from students who say that they feel like something is wrong with them because they study for hours and still fail. I promise you, it is almost never about intelligence. It's about the methods that you use. And I know because I was that student. If you want help figuring out what is actually going wrong, there's a link in the description to work with me one-to-one to stop procrastinating, master the right study methods, and score top grades. Now, let me start with why most summers go wrong. The biggest reason students waste their summer is that they treat it as one giant unstructured block of time. When you have 12 weeks with no classes, no deadlines, and no schedule, your brain does something counterintuitive. Instead of feeling free, it feels paralyzed. You have so much time that nothing feels urgent. And when nothing feels urgent, nothing gets done. Research on what is called the summer slide has consistently shown that students lose about 1 to 2 months of academic progress during summer breaks. And that is not because they are doing something harmful, it is because they are doing nothing at all. The lack of structure causes the lack of progress there. The second reason is that most students start their summer without a real plan. They have some vague ideas. I want to learn something new. I should probably get an internship. I am going to start working out. But within the first 2 weeks of break, you are likely to lose those vague ideas if you don't have a timeline and some targets to go for. You need a plan. And I don't mean a rigid hour-by-hour schedule. You need a flexible framework that gives your summer some direction without making it feel like school or uni. Here's the framework. I call it the 3 pillars of a productive summer: skill, social, and self. And pillar 1, therefore, is skill. This is about building something tangible over the summer that your future self will eventually thank you for. And maybe a new ability or a portfolio piece, a certification, basically something that you can point to in September and say, I did that over the summer. The specific skill depends entirely on where you are and where you want to go. If you're a business student, maybe you spent the summer learning advanced Excel, SQL, or financial modeling, going through some free online courses. If you're a pre-med student, maybe you shadow a physician or you volunteer in a clinical setting. If you are in journalism, maybe you start a blog, you start writing and build your portfolio, or maybe you learn a new language. Because if you have no idea what you want to do professionally, that is fine too. Just pick a skill that interests you and commit to it. Learning how to code, getting a photography certification, building a small website, or maybe even studying for a professional exam. The point is that you are building something with your time and just not letting that time pass by. Now, here's how to make this work in practice. Pick one skill, just one, and do not try to learn 5 things at once. Set a specific target for what that done also looks like by the end of summer. And it could be complete the Google Data Analytics certificate. It could be build a personal portfolio website, read and take notes on 10 books in my field, reach B1 level in German. This is very specific, right? And then I want you to work on it for about maybe 45 minutes to an hour a day, 3 to 5 days a week. And that's all. You do not need long sessions. An hour a day for 10 weeks is 50 to 70 hours of focused work on a single skill. And that is enough to make real, visible progress. The second pillar is about social. Summer is the best time to invest in relationships that will matter eventually for years. So during the semester, you are so busy with classes and studying that social connections sometimes happen passively. You see the same people in the same classes and at the same library, but summer gives you the space to be intentional about who you spend time with and also how. And this means three things. First, I want you to maintain the friendships that matter. I know it is easy to go silent for 3 months and then try to pick things up in September, but make an effort to stay in touch with the people who energize you. Maybe text them, call them, or meet up if you're in the same city. And these are the people who will be your professional network and personal support system for years to come. So don't let these relationships go cold. Second, build new connections. Reach out to 1 or 2 people that you have been wanting to connect with. Maybe it's a professor whose research interests you. Maybe it is an alumni who works in a field that you are curious about. Maybe it is someone you met at a campus event but never really followed up with. Summer is the perfect time for a casual coffee or a LinkedIn message because everyone else is less busy and more open for conversations like this. Third, spend time with people outside of your university bubble. This could be family, old friends, people from different fields and different walks of life. One of the most limiting things about university is that you end up surrounding yourself by people who are exactly like you. And summer is the perfect time to broaden your perspective and also connect with people who are not exactly like you. Pillar number 3 is the self. This is the pillar that most productivity advice ignores, and it might be the most important one because you just survived a full academic year. That's really good. Your brain and your body need some time for recovery. And genuine recovery means more than just sleeping in and watching Netflix, although those things have their place too in the summer breaks. But it means actively investing in your physical and mental health and in your personal development. On the physical side, I want you to build an exercise routine that you actually enjoy. Don't make it a punishment routine, okay? Do something sustainable, maybe walk every morning, maybe go for a swim, play a sport with friends, go to the gym maybe 3 times a week. The bar is genuinely low, but consistency matters more than the intensity over that summer period. And if you get to September with a physical routine already established, you are far more likely to maintain that routine during the semester, also when the stress levels go back up, and physical activity is really good for your stress. On the mental health side, summer is the time to address things that you have been pushing aside during the school year. If you have been meaning to talk to a therapist, just start now. If you have been running on caffeine and anxiety for a lot of time, use these weeks to actually rest and reset. Start to journal, reflect on what went well and what went bad last year. Think about what you want next year to look like. And this kind of self-reflection is almost impossible during the semester because you are too deep in the middle of academics and a lot of other things. Summer gives you the distance to really zoom out and see that full picture. And on the personal development side, read books that have nothing to do with your coursework. Maybe explore a hobby that you dropped a couple years ago. Travel if you can, even if it's locally. The goal is to come back to campus feeling like a more complete and more recharged person and not just a slightly more skilled student. Now, let me show you how you can put this into a weekly structure that actually works without making your summer feel like a job. The biggest mistake students make when they try to have a productive summer is that they go too hard in the first week. They try to create a rigid schedule with 5 hours of daily work, gym sessions, reading time, network blocks, and by the third week they abandon the entire thing because it feels as stressful, even not more stressful than school or uni itself. Your summer schedule should be pretty light, and I mean very light. Okay, so here's what I recommend. Have a morning block for 60 to 90 minutes, and this is your skill building time. You work on your one project or course during the first part of the day when your brain is still fresh. If you do this 3 to 5 days a week, don't do it every day. Some days you sleep in and that is completely fine, and other days you then work on this course. In the later afternoon, you keep your time unstructured. You can have social plans, you can exercise, do errands, hobbies, chores, or whatever you want. The entire point of summer is that this part of the day is also yours, all right? Do not schedule it, just let it breathe. And finally, keep the evening light and also optional. Maybe some reading or journaling. Maybe plan what you will work on tomorrow morning, and then 10 to 15 minutes at most will not make this a really huge task. This is not a study session. This is just setting up the next day so you don't wake up wondering, what am I going to do next? If you do 1 day a week, ideally Sunday, spend 15 minutes reviewing your summer goals and checking in with yourself. Are you making progress on your skill project? Have you connected with anyone socially this week? And are you actually resting, or are you just consuming content and calling it rest? This weekly check-in is what probably keeps the entire framework in place and not make you drift away. And here is one rule that makes everything sustainable. 2 days a week, you do nothing productive at all. You don't work on building your skills, you don't network, or you don't do self-improvement reading. These are your full rest days. Maybe it's Saturdays and Sunday, or whatever combination works best for you. And I want you to protect these days. Your brain consolidates information while you also get rest. Your motivation recharges during these rest days, and skipping rest days does not make your summer more productive. It in fact makes it shorter, because you will feel burned out or exhausted and lose the last 3 weeks to exhaustion then. So let me talk about the goal setting piece, because this is where most summer plans fall apart. Do not set 10 goals for the summer. You will not be able to achieve any of them. Set only 2, maybe 3 goals, maximum 3, and make each one very specific that you will know without any doubt whether you have achieved it by September. An example of a bad goal is learn to code this summer. You will never feel like you have achieved this, because learn to code has almost like no finish line. A good goal, for example, could be complete Harvard's CS50 course and build one personal project by August 31st. Now you know exactly what that looks like, and you can track your progress. And when August 31st comes, you either did it or you did not do it. Okay? Make sure that each goal maps to one of the 3 pillars. So one skill goal, one social goal, and one self goal. And again, here are some examples. For skill, it could be complete the Google UX design certificate by August 15th. For social, it could be have a 20-minute conversation with 3 alumni in my target industry before September. And for self, it could be establish a 3-day per week exercise routine and maintain it for the summer. 3 goals in 12 weeks are quite achievable. And when September comes, you will have something concrete in each area of your life that you will build during the upcoming summer break. So let me recap everything. Most students, they waste their summer because they have no structure, no goals, and no plan. They float through 12 weeks of unstructured time, and in September, they feel like they just lost 3 months. The 3-pillar framework prevents that. So your skill goal gives you something tangible to build. Your social goal gives you connections that compound over time. And your one self goal gives you the recovery and personal growth that makes the next academic year sustainable. Now, your daily commitment is pretty small, 60 to 90 minutes of focused work in the morning. The rest of the day is yours. 2 full rest days per week, and a 15-minute check-in on Saturdays or Sundays. 2 or 3 specific goals with a clear finish line. That's it. And that is the entire system. It is simple enough that you will actually follow it, and flexible enough that your summer still feels like a summer. And it is also structured enough that by September, you will look back and feel genuinely proud of how you spent your time. If you are planning to prepare for a competitive exam over the summer, then make sure to check out this next video.